Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. My name is Jay, the King of Odds, and in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you how you can actually make over 0.5 goals halftime predictions without having to make use of analysis. Now some of you don't know this, but betting odd tells you the future of a game, while analysis actually tells you the past. Now if you don't understand what I mean by betting odd tells you the future of a game, watch my video on betting odd explained to actually give you an insight on how you can make accurate predictions just by knowing the match odds of a particular game. Now, if you already know that and you've watched my videos, you have my ebook, you can proceed with this video because this will help you also improve how you work with my ebook, even when you don't want to make use of analysis. Now, if you don't have my ebook, hit me up on WhatsApp. The number will be in the pinned comments. Hit me up on WhatsApp to get a copy of this ebook, as this will help you know more odds that you can actually work with and make better predictions with. So let's proceed with this particular video. Now to start with this, what I actually do is save the web page for RedScores on my browser before going ahead to look for these games that I use in making predictions. So I have this saved on my PC, user desktop, so it is saved offline. And then this is today, 8th November 2025. I've opened Soccer 24, 8th November 2025, Saturday. Open Soccer 24 to be able to do some analysis if I need to about these games. So if you know about match odds already, you know that this on RedScores is actually Bet365 odd, and it's different from the odds on 1xBet, where it's a different odd entirely, and we work with RedScores odds. So every odds you see on RedScores is actually Bet365 odds, not 1xBet odds. So the odds I'll be looking out for are on RedScores. Now the first thing I'm going to do is open the find bar in my browser, which is by pressing Ctrl plus F, and then I type in 3.6. Now you can see it brings out a lot of games for me, 46 games in total, having 3.6 odds on these websites today. And there are so many odds over here today that have 3.6 odds. And the important thing to look out for are the matches with 3.6 odds that actually has 2+ odds for the home or away outcome. 2+ odds. It has to be 2+ odds. And there are a few. So you can go over to the entire list of games and pick out all the games having that particular odd. Now, if we scroll over down, we see that we have this game having 1.9, 3.9 as a draw odd option, which is not what I'll be interested in today. So that is not what I need to make these predictions. If we go over to the next one, we see that we have another game having 2.7 odd for the home team and then 3.6 for the draw option. Now this is Volendam versus NAC Brada. And if you come over here to Soccer 24 and search for this game, now this is the dashboard for this particular match. Head over to the standings and then head over to the over and under section to actually do a quick analysis on this game. Now remember from my over 2.5 goals video, I said that you come over to look for the goal per match. And remember what I said about goal per match, that it has to be 3+ range, and I gave you the range on that my video on over 2.5 goals, meaning you can as well get over 0.5 goals from this particular game. Now if we come over to Sportybet and search for Volendam, let's see the odd that it gives us for over 0.5 goal for a game like this. Head over to first half over 0.5 goals halftime. It can be any arrangement on your bookie, but this is Sportybet. Select over 0.5 goals and you see it's 1.35 odd for this particular game. 1.37 odd rather for this particular game. Now we head over back to RedScores to actually see another game that we can use for over 0.5 goals for the day. Now without analysis, this would likely deliver over 0.5 goals. So as long as you're picking the home odd, the draw odds having these conditions of 2+ odds and 3+ for the draw option, you are actually good to go. Now if we come over here to the Soccer 24 page to actually see for Zwolle game, you can see Zwolle versus Sparta Rotterdam is having 3.6 odd for the goal per match and Sparta Rotterdam 3.4 odd for the goal per match. Now we head over to Sportybet and then put in this Zwolle game on our bookie to see what this particular game has for us, as the odd for over 0.5 goals in first half. Now you select this and then select for the over 0.5 goals. You see it's 1.33 odd, and you see we are having with these two matches we are already having 1.82 odd just with two matches over 0.5 goals half time. Now back to RedScores. Now you can see that without analysis we've already seen games that would give us over 0.5 goals half time. Just by looking at this particular odds, it is possible that we can get over 0.5 goals using these games. Now you don't need to analyze, you just need to go through the page to find these games like this. So we scroll down and head over to find other games that have the same odd condition we can use for over 0.5 goals. Now this is having a different odd, is not what we're interested in this video, so we'll have to proceed and find other games. Now you can see this Coventry game, it's having 2.15 and 3.6 as the draw odd, 2.15 away and 3.6 as the draw odd. But this is the championship, and championship, like I said, is a very difficult league to get goals. It's one of those leagues that actually gets you under goals. So Coventry being in this place and having this particular odd means that I have to be wary of this particular game. Stoke Coventry, I have to be wary of this particular game because there's a possibility that I might not get over 0.5 goals half time from a game like this. And I think we can actually go through all the games having 3.6 odd for today, with the home or away odd being 2+ odd, to find games like this, just to see how many match for the day that can actually give us over 0.5 goals half time, and then how many of it will be getting a win from among the total we have. So you can see this one, I got this from Netherlands, which is a high scoring league. I got like I said, Zole, the draw option 3.6. So let's keep going. And then let's look into this Coventry Stoke game. And on Soccer 24, let's Coventry Stoke, open this on a new tab. So we're going to check this game by selecting the standings. This is the championship, and then we come over to the over and under section, and you can see from the goal margin, Coventry actually has 3.7, which is good, but Stoke has 2.1, which is not good. So if you watch my video on how to make analysis of over 2.5 goals, you already know from my previous video that this is not one of the kind of games that you can actually pick. And the goal margins that you should look for, I shared that with you as well on that video. Now we can actually use this to play over 2.5 goals full time if we want to just go with the odd, but this actually makes it kind of difficult for me to make predictions using this odd because it's now tricky. So we might want to go for a game like QPR to actually see what they are going to give us, despite it being in the championship as well. Let's see what this game has. It has 2.9 and 2.6. Now this is a bit comfortable. Now I'll put here as Sheffield to see the order we're going to get, though I'm not comfortable with this. Now I'm not saying that this would not win, but I'm just saying the championship, being in the championship, is just better to kind of be safe and avoid a game like this. Now if I pick this, you can see this is 1.41, which is higher than the regular odds you get for over 0.5 goals half time compared to the others who picked, which was Volodem and Zole. These are very possible because of this factor. That's why the odds are actually low. But when you check out this other one, it's 1.41. Now what you can do is to get a structure to work with, and your structure might be 1.5 to 1.5 or any other order you can actually work with that you can merge with these 3 games to get you 4 odd, 5 odd, or whatever. Now if I wanted a ticket like 5 odd, I could do something like look for any random 1.5 odd and then put that on this particular ticket. Let's say we have Como to win and then AC Milan to win. You could just put them on this kind of ticket. And remember, there is no analysis on this. We're just telling that if you wanted to work with a structure, you can actually do that using this. So Como with a straight win of 1.5 odd, and I can put in Milan. Now remember, this is a random predictions which is not done with any analysis, which you already know how to analyze by watching the video on straight wins I have on my channel. If you don't watch that video, you can go to watch the video on straight win analysis. Now if I'm doing this, I'm getting Chile over 0.5 and then 2 straight wins. Now you can create as many tickets as you want with this particular odds, because there are a lot of 0.6 odds that you can work with. So we started from the Netherlands and ended up at Championship. Now let's say we didn't want to pick the Championship games and take this of Sheffield. Let's say we just go with another league that might be high scoring. League 1 is high scoring. But you see 1.8, I could get predictions from this 1.8, I could get from 0.6. But the purpose of this video is sharing what 0.6 merged with 2.6 odd can actually get you. So we're looking for 2.2 home team odds that has 0.6 for the draw options. This is another one, but it's different. So we will not be making predictions on here. So like I said, every odd has its meaning. So we are working with the meaning of this particular odd that I'm sharing with you. You can see this now, Barnet and MK Dons. This is one game that we can go ahead to actually pick. Now let's see Barnet. You have Barnet here, League 2, which is, like I said, is a high scoring league. You can come over here, standings, and then over. Now this is 2.4, just at the edge of being a low scoring game, but also capable of giving us goals going into high scoring game. Why this is a high scoring game, 3 plus for MK Dons. Let's just say we go over to 1.5 and see if they've been delivering 1.5 goals over time. You can see that 1.5 goals is a possible outcome in this game, meaning there's a high chance that one of these goals will come in the first half. That is where the first half prediction actually comes in, because they are capable of scoring over 1 goal. Means that one of these halves can likely get you a goal, where you focus on over 0.5 goals half time. Now if you come over to Sportsy and then do Barnet, now remember we removed them, QPR first half over 0.5. You can see this is smaller than the QPR game, though a bit closer to the 1.41 odd we just removed for that QPR game. It means that this may be a bit difficult as well, and that is because of this factor, this being a low scoring game. If it is somewhere around 2.6, 2.7 and upward, it would likely have been lower than this. So we have to believe that it is because of this factor, that is why this odd is a bit high. But the league is a high scoring league, that is why we'll back this better than the Championship. So if you go with this, it's still the same 6 odds. So you can go with different variations, because there are a lot of games that you can actually go for the day when finding 0.6 odds matches. So we keep on going. 1.75, not that, though this also have meanings that you can actually make predictions of it. But if you're working with a structure and we need specific odds, we might not want to go with these other odds to make up our structures. Now this is another one, Chile Segunda Division. This is the low scoring league. We could also try and see if this would give us, just without analysis, if this would give us over 0.5 goals half time. Though it is going to be a very tricky one to actually deliver over 0.5 goals, because now the league is making us reconsider what we think about this particular, or the league is already telling us that it might be difficult. So let's head over to other odds. Now, this is another 2 odds, and this is another high scoring league, National League. We have Bournemouth having 2 odds, 0.6 draw. Now, this is another game that you can actually consider to go for over 0.5 goals after making predictions. Now, this is for you who don't have experience with making analysis. This could actually help you a lot just with random picks. 2.8, 1.6. Now, this is one game I'll be scared of. If I was using analysis, I wouldn't have picked this. But without analysis, we'll wait and see what this game actually gives us. Because what I'm trying to share with you guys is trying to get these outcomes without having to use analysis. Now, you know this odds already. If you want to use analysis, watch the video on over 2.5 goals and back it up with the odds I'm showing you. That would help you actually avoid games that are not going to deliver the goals for you. If I use analysis, I would avoid this. But without analysis, if I'm not, I'm going with this particular game just because of this factor. Then there's this Gates Heads Solid Law. This, you can see this. It's possible here even with analysis. Gates Heads. So there's every possibility that some of this would actually not play out. But the fact is, once you have a structure, it makes it easier for you to actually win, because you could create one ticket and then create another ticket and then create a third ticket following the same structures. And one of those is very much likely to win, or all of those are very much likely to win. That is what I actually did following a particular structure. And you can see this 1.26. You can see from the championship we got 1.41, and from the other leagues we are getting 1.30, 1.26, these other leagues. But the championship that I said was difficult was giving us a higher odd to actually get over 0.5 goals in first half. So if we take this off, you see it's still almost 6 odds, but now lesser. So your structure still remains the same depending on, regardless of the odds you are using. That is the thing with using this particular odds in making predictions. So I hope you are able to make predictions using these odds in the future to get over 0.5 goals half time. Many of you have asked me how to actually do that, and I told you that the same odds that gives you over 1.5 goals, over 2.5 goals, those are the same odds you can use to get over 0.5 goals half time. You just have to consider some other factors like looking over here to see some little things that would help you. So if they're scoring goals, it means that goals are likely to come up. If they're not scoring goals, it means goals are not likely to come. Now, when you get a few games, don't accumulate. When you get a few games, like 3 games, you are likely to win 1 ticket when it's 3 games on that ticket, compared to when you have 6 games like that on a ticket where one of those would definitely not win. But the fewer the games on your ticket, the more your chance of actually winning gets up, because just 3 games is all you need for this to play out when it comes to 2 odds. And we've seen more than 3 games today just going through this. So imagine how many 3 games you can get from a day like this. We've still not gone anywhere. We could still go on and keep on seeing more games that have same odds, 0.6 with 2 plus odds. Maybe at the end of the day, we'll count how many games we've seen with 2 plus odds, and then see how many gave us over 0.5 goals. So you know the percentage is actually very high when making predictions like this, with the number of games that can actually get you over 0.5 goals half time. So there are lots of them, and there are some that could be on leagues where we should not predict games from, but we're just going to leave these factors out and then count the games in total and see how many of these games get us over 0.5 goals half time. That would determine how many tickets are likely to win and how potent the structure this particular odd actually is in making over 0.5 goals predictions. This is 1, no, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, Remember, it's low scoring. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. But this is Saudi Arabia. I usually don't make predictions here because they fix a lot of games. But because we're not using analysis, I will just add this and count it as well. Was it 14? 15, 16, 16. I think from that 16 games, you can count 3 games each on different tickets to make your predictions. Now, remember, I have a video on strategies you can use for the simulator bets. Now, it's possible that you can use games like this for your simulator bet just by picking this over 0.5 goals odds to make up your ticket, and then 2 straight wins of 1.3 odds, then simulate it. You're getting quick 4 odd when making predictions just like this. So you can see the games on here. You just simulate it, press the simulator button, and then put in your amount to play. When you win, you're playing on instant bet and your result is instant. So we'll come back to check out the outcome of these 17 games or 16 games that we counted for today, and hopefully you can use that in making your predictions in the future. I'll see you in the second half. So guys, welcome back to the second half of this video, and I think we counted 17 games on this day having the odd that I showed you that would likely give you over 0.5 goals half time. So we are going to go through the games starting from the first one. I think the first should be, let's use Ctrl F for 3.6. Now let's check out this Volodem game and see what they played for today. Now you can see this is 2-1. If you had picked this without having to do analysis, let's see what would have gotten with this game. You can see the game actually gave us 2-1. There was goals in these games. And you can see the first goal came in the first half. Own goal in the first half. So over 0.5 goals actually played in this game. Volodem versus Negbrada. Over 0.5 goals played out in this game. That is one game already that has won if you went for this particular option for over 0.5 goals half time. And then we go to the next one, which is Zole. Like I said, it's 2+ odds, and they need to have 0.6 odd as the draw odd. Now this is Zole with a red card, just 1 goal, so I guess the red card affected the game. But let's see if they give us over 0.5 goals half time during the course of this game. So we have the first goal coming in the first half of this game, 1-0, and that was the only goal in this game. So if you had played over 1.5 goal, you might have lost this game. But because this particular odd, we know that this setup actually gives you over 0.5 goals half time. So even without analysis, you have won this. So sometimes you just need to trust it, and they would actually give you that outcome. And sometimes when you go against it, you find outcomes like this where they don't score a lot of goals. But over 0.5 goals half time actually came true in this game. So this is something that you need to take note of when making predictions without analysis. Now let's head over to another game having the same setup, 2+ odd and a draw odd. This is the second for the day. And we have the third one. No, this is not it. And we have the third one, which is Stoke City Coventry. And this is the championship where I said it's actually not a high scoring league, even though I may want to pick games from here as well and do some analysis to back it up. But this is not the preferred place to actually get high scoring games. So I think in the first video, we said we're not going to pick games from here. If we're going to play a serious ticket with analysis and all that, it might discourage us. And so we'll see what Stoke City actually played for today. We've gotten 2 wins already without analysis and just the odds telling us that this game is likely to give us over 0.5 goals. So let's see what Stoke City from a low scoring league actually gives to us. So this is Stoke City, and you can tell 1-0, just as we said in the first half of this video, where it was a game where I would have avoided games like this. So let's see if they give us halftime goal. So no goals in the first half, and that is why Championship is not a place where you find goals when making predictions for over goals. Now, I think we went for QPR and Sheffield after the Stoke City game. So if we go over to QPR, it's still 0-0. So obviously they did not score in this game. So the Championship did not deliver goals for us. If you watch my video on high scoring leagues, you will see that I asked you to avoid Championship if you can, because they don't score a lot of goals in this league. And you've seen why it is actually like that. So someone predicting over goals here, even with this method, is likely to lose it, because Stoke City did not deliver and QPR did not deliver. And that is because of the factor that this is a low scoring league. Sometimes it might come true, but you can see that 2 games from here now did not give us that outcome. So let's keep going and head over to find other games. I would not count this as part of the main ticket, because I don't expect you to pick games from low scoring leagues when making predictions like this. But for now, we've gotten 2 wins, 2 losses. But overall, if I was making predictions, Stoke City and QPR would not be on it based on the Championship factor. So I would still have 2 games that are actually winning on that ticket. So let's move on, and the next game will come up soon. That is Barnet, and like I said, this was a high scoring league. Barnet League 2 is a high scoring league. I expect there to be goal in this game, but we can't tell now until we search for it. So Barnet, you can see this is 2-2. High scoring leagues. So everything I said in my video on high scoring leagues, low scoring leagues, these things actually do apply, even when you don't make analysis, even when you just randomly pick. With this, you can see that immediately we left the Championship, we are already getting more goals in League 2. You can see a lot of goals today in League 2, but the Championship was already something that has made this all I gave to you not work, just because it's a low scoring league. That is a factor that's affected it. But another team with that particular odd, and the first ones in Netherlands delivered that. Now the one in League 2 also delivered that. So 3 games in high scoring league have delivered over 0.5 goals half time, just by having the odd without analysis. Now if I open this, obviously they've scored in the first half. You can see this 3 goals in the first half. That was what came true in this game. 3 goals in the first half. Now let's keep on going to the next game. And this is the 5th one we've checked. So we keep on scrolling, and another one, Switzerland, Zurich. This is also one of those games I can consider for it. Like I said, we saw this in the morning, and this is Zurich. So let's search for Zurich and see if they give us goals. You can see a lot of goals. Now another league that actually scores goals. High scoring, 2 goals in the first half. So you can see that the moment we skipped the Championship, this all continued to work. But in that Championship, it failed. Netherlands, it won 2 games. League 2, it won. And now in the Switzerland, it actually won. So that is what happens when you use these odds, even without analysis. Some basic principles applies. You just need to follow the principles and stick to it. That would actually help you win with no form of analysis. So you can tell that making predictions is not that difficult, and that is why most people who have my ebook are winning instantly. Like, you just get the ebook, you are able to win, because these things simply are things that I've written down to help you make predictions without having to have the football experience. So from here onwards, you can see that this is actually giving us a high percentage of winning over 0.5 goals. So I'll just keep scrolling and going through the games without having to say too much, so this video doesn't take forever. So I'll keep scrolling, and the next will be We have Zurich. We just checked Zurich, and we have Chile. I remember I said this was a low scoring league, Chile. So let's see if they actually gave us this Melipa. So it's a low scoring league, but they gave us the goal. Over 0.5 goals came through in this as well, despite being a low scoring league. So that particular odd, even on low scoring league, sometimes does work. So you've seen a lot of these games now giving you over 0.5 goals half time just by going through the odds and picking out games with that odd. There was no analysis that was needed. So randomly picking these games would have given you your win. All you needed was a structure that would help you win. We'll keep going, and this is another one, Boham Wood. I think this is National League. It's high scoring. So Boham, you can see this, Boham Wood, Berkeley. A lot of goals came in here. 1 goal in the first half. You can see this. So this is something that if you have my ebook, you already are familiar with making predictions like this using match odds without having to make any analysis. Now I'm just sharing this with you guys to help you win. There are a lot more odds that you can actually learn. There are a lot more odds that you can actually know the meaning of that would help you win. These are just one of the odds that I add to my structures that actually helps me win. So if I know the meaning of this and I know how to put 3 of this together in a ticket, and I put 1 halftime draw that I know the meaning of halftime draw in a ticket, I'm getting 5 or 10 odd easy just by mixing games like this. We have Gates heads here, and you can see Gates heads 2-0. Let's see, they scored in the first half. These guys didn't score in the first half, but with what we've gotten, if you have a ticket with just 3 of these games, you've won the first 3 set of these games, excluding that of the championship, which was the low scoring game. The key thing is, if you're able to get 3 tickets as having this sort of games, you're winning a few just because some of these games have already won. Like majority of the games will win as over 0.5 goals compared to when you don't know the odds and you just randomly pick games. So this will help you win more than you lose. Now we have Paide. Paide is Estonia. Usually I don't play Estonian league, but let's see what they got. It's 1-1 for this. You can see there's a goal in the first half. There's a goal in the first half over here, Paide, Estonia. And we have Memmingen, Germany. 1-1 as well. Memmingen, Germany. And you can see the 2 goals came in the first half, 1-1. Germany, high scoring league. Take note, high scoring league. I said that in my video for high scoring league also. You have Dondela, Northern Ireland Championship. So let's check for Dondela. 2-2. You can see this as well. This definitely, I believe they scored in the first half. 1-1 in first half and 1-1 second half. So 2-2 full time. That was what this game actually played out. So you can see that the number of games we've lost that did not play over 0.5 goals are fewer than the total games that have actually given us over 0.5 goals half time. So you can see the possibilities here by knowing odds, what you can actually do when you know match odds, when you know the meaning of certain odds. There are a lot of ways you can win your bets, and I've gotten a lot of structures from people using my ebook, people who know my odds, because some of you just know this odd and you're able to mix things together to get you a certain total odd, 4 odd, 5 odd that I haven't been able to combine before myself. So that is why I like you guys having this ebook, because you've been able to create structures that I would not be able to create or see from the angle you're coming from. Something like this, you may not know this kind of structure using 3 over 0.5 goals and 2 1.5 goals straight win to get your 5 odd 4 odd ticket. That is because I'm sharing it to you. You're able to work with that. That is the same way I expect you guys to share your structures with me and help me win as well. So if you know the odds, you simply only need a structure to be able to win with it. And there's another one, Warring Point. Let's see what Warring Point actually gave us. 1-0. 0-0 for this game. So a goal did not come in the first half for this particular game. And we have now we have the next one, which is Lane Start, and this should be Norway. Lane 0-0. So we'll see if the goal came in the first half. 2 goals in the first half. So you see the possibility of using something like this. It's unlimited. Al Ahly Saudi Arabia, like I said in the first half of this video, I don't play the Saudi leagues. I don't play the UAE leagues. I don't play Romania and some other leagues that I just don't like playing their games. But let's see, since we're doing this, I'm showing this without having to use analysis, that you can actually win without making use of analysis. Let's see what they gave us. Ahly. So 1-0. That is what they gave us for this outcome. Let's see if the goal is the first half. It's not in the first half. So usually I wouldn't have picked any game from Saudi Arabia because I don't even go there to make predictions. So it's not a league that I trust. Most times I feel that they fix games here a lot. So I have my sentiments about the Saudis leagues. The what other league again? There are some leagues I just feel they fix their game. I think Turkish league, I don't play from there as well. I just feel some leagues are manipulated a lot. There's a lot of manipulations on those leagues, so I tend to avoid them, even though the odds might tell me they are able or they are going to win. So this is Slovakia. I think we checked this in the morning. So let's see Mikulas. 2-2. So you can see a lot of these games actually delivered goals for us. I'm seeing 2-2. A lot of results giving us 2-2, 1-1. So I guess this is another way to make predictions. I'm thinking we can make 2-2 predictions correct scores with this odds, or 1-1 prediction with this odds, because majority of the games I've seen now so far have been games ending in 2-2, 1-1. So I think at random we can actually get correct scores using this particular odd, but I've not really put interest in that or really noticed this pattern. So I'm going to take my time to study this. If I can actually get correct scores 2-2 using this odd 1-1, 2-2, and I'm thinking both teams to score might also make sense because the high scoring odd. So basically anything concerning goals might work with a odd like this when you get high scoring odds, and that is where we actually profit from the over goals because we expect them to score a lot of goals, and that is where the goals in the first half comes from. So we have another one from Sweden, Brage. So Brage, we have 4-1 for this, another high scoring game, and from an high scoring league. So my video on leagues to get goals actually applies. You see, most of these odds we've seen are odds that you found in the high scoring league. It was just the one from Chile and the one from what other country was that? That was the only 2 places we've seen these games that were not high scoring leagues by default. A lot of the other games we've seen having these odds were from high scoring leagues, from the Netherlands, from England League 2, England National League, Switzerland. We've been seeing them on high scoring. So that tells you a lot about these odds, that odds like this, you will likely find them where the league tends to score a lot of goals. So let's proceed, and we're almost at the end of this. I think that is the last game for this session, and you can see that if you went down through this list and you were picking just one, like 1, 2, 3, you would have won. If you avoided these low scoring leagues, like that one we got from the championship, if you avoided Stoke, which is expected to avoid games that are in low scoring leagues, you would have won. So it's best to go for the high scoring leagues, which is why we picked Netherlands 2 games, and then you come over to the English National League 2 or League 1, and then you're getting your positions from there. You're winning straight games. So if we had picked just the Netherlands and then came to League 1 to pick, we would have won as well. came to this League 2 rather, where we saw the next one to pick, that would have been 3 games that would have won in a row. So that is it for this video, and I hope this actually helps you learn how to make predictions for over 0.5 goals and helps you see the wonderful things using match odds can actually do for you. Now, if you don't have my ebook, make sure to hit me up on WhatsApp. The ebook is available. Hit me up on WhatsApp to get a copy. Subscribe, like, share my videos, turn on post notifications so you don't miss out on future updates. I'm going to try and make more videos for you guys because I've been busy for the entire year. I haven't had time to do much videos, but I'm going to try and get you guys the best videos you can actually learn from on this channel. Tune into my next videos. Bye.